Hello guys, welcome to the Trading Parrot. A few days ago I mentioned in one of my videos that there are plenty of YouTube channels that you can learn from. I mentioned just a couple of them, but the reality is that I am a heavy consumer of YouTube channels when it comes to learning about trading crypto and trading in general. I also mentioned that recently I pretty much don't watch any of the channels that I used to watch, but that doesn't mean that the channels are bad. It just means that I want to stay unbiased to my own trading. But if you are looking for what channels help me learning the most, which channels are good for general markets, macroeconomy, which ones are good for trading, I'm gonna show you 30 channels and I'll give you my take on why are they worth watching, and I'm even gonna include some of them that you should be skipping, or what parts of the content that they publish you probably want to cover your ears and just skip. I'm gonna start with channels that are providing loads of general macro information. You do want to absorb as much outside the bubble of crypto and understand what's affecting in general the markets, the different economies. Steven Van Meter has a really full of information macro with a slight emphasis on American economy. It is very detailed. There are videos every day. The only downside is that, as you can see, there is fire burning pretty much every day. So kind of the template in here is that we are doomed every day for some different reason. I guess that is the way that he gets more views, but don't get worried. I still think that there is substance. If you watch the videos, definitely you're gonna take away some valid information. Now, be mindful and don't overreact to all the possibly excessive negativity, and just take away the actual information and then make your own judgment. The risk of watching this channel is that you get too much influence on some negativity. I really like this channel called Brabus Research. There's a lot to dig in here. By the way, all the links to these channels are gonna be in the description of this video in the same order I'm reading them, so hopefully you can decide which ones you can subscribe much easier. So this channel has a big emphasis on Bitcoin. It covers Bitcoin really in depth relative to macro economy, relative to multiple aspects like employment, rate cuts, geopolitical tensions, things that most of the people that start trading in crypto are not aware, or really they don't have the bandwidth to cover. So if that's your case, I think this channel is pretty good. Again, a little bit of too much emphasis on the drama. That's kind of the cost of the channel, but at the same time, I think they have very fair amount of valid and unique information. I also follow them on Twitter. Eurodollar University is a channel that I started watching recently, and remember that I have kind of stopped watching any trader. Anyone that says, I think Bitcoin is gonna do this in the next few days, I just don't watch it. I have proved that they do more damage to my trading than what they actually bring in. So I stick to mainly looking at watching channels these days about macro economy, what's going on with cuts, with yields, with bonds in different countries, to try to understand where we are from the bigger perspective. And I think Eurodollar University is one of those channels. As I said, just a couple of weeks ago, someone in a comment left me this channel as a recommendation, and I'm starting to watch it more and more. There is an emphasis in US again, but there is a little bit of everything in reality. Videos are typically around 20 minutes. Now we're stepping a little bit into gray area. Trader Nick is a very fun to watch channel that mixes all the macro with the context of taking trades. He does share trades live, not necessarily when he enters, but he says, I'm gonna enter at support in here or in resistance to take shorts. He takes both sides, and he has managed to grow an actual portfolio of trades. He constantly mentions in which assets he's long or short, and he has a very simplistic approach to trading. As you can see, he's mainly focusing on support and resistance on not so low time frames. He doesn't really look into 15 minutes that much. From what I remember, I think he looks into 4 1 hour and weekly time frames. He covers multiple aspects of macro. He covers gold, S&P, Nasdaq, multi-assets, I will say. He even trades Forex too. He shares publicly when he takes a loss. He uses stop loss. He also DCAs to add more or to scale up certain positions, which I I think is very important. Most people focus just only on the entry, but no one really shares if they are adding more, if they are scaling up, if they are exiting, and he shares all those aspects. I started watching it, I will say like 3 to 4 months ago, but I already stopped watching it because of the mix with the trading. I don't want to see what other people are trading, particularly if they can influence big masses. This channel has about 500k subscribers. CryptoCrew University, I watched this channel for a good amount of time. I will say for 2 to 3 years I've been watching this channel. I already stopped like a year ago. The big emphasis at the moment on this channel is on selling you a course, which I've heard that is extremely basic, but many people don't know the basics, so there is a lot of value for those. He does look at a lot of indicators and he finds plenty of patterns, and if you are interested in watching videos that come with background music with a little bit of drama into it, it's interesting, but at some point I had to put it in fast mode and skip too many parts of the video because of all the repeating of the same point. If you watch my early videos in 2020, you're gonna notice that I have plenty of inspiration from Steve on many indicators. Eventually everything I did was just my own thing, but I guess I needed to get inspiration, and this together with Benjamin Cowen have inspired me a lot in how to use indicators, definitely. So if you want to learn what I learned, you can go and watch that. Just bear in mind that at the time I was watching it, the style was very different. He changed. He doesn't put any ads in the videos now. Nowadays, he just focuses on selling that course. Continuing a little bit with the macro, not necessarily around trading, because I haven't heard ever Jason saying I'm gonna take this or that trade. He just focuses on multiple assets, including S&P, Nasdaq, gold, Bitcoin, top market cap. He looks at the pattern of the candles, swings, very simplistic kind of TA, not too much on chain, not too much order book, order flow, none of that, just basic price action patterns, which there is nothing wrong about it. And that's why during different seasons I come back and forward watch it. Recently I haven't been watching it. Cryptocurrently, now they are like 80,000. I remember when I was watching this channel, it was hundreds of subscribers. I don't know how, but the algorithm presented to me this channel and I fell in love with it. It's called Cryptocurrently. He follows a specific template for every single video. At least when I used to watch it, it was like that, which is quite engaging. The charts are very clean, full of colors and explanations, and he explains to you how he's approaching this cycle, where he's planning to exit, what he's expecting and stuff like that, mixing it with some elements from macro, which is always a good addition. My only critic is just, again, too much emphasis on the M2 liquidity, but no worries because he compensates with many other factors, which makes it worth being in this list. Satoshi Staker. Well, I used to like a lot this channel in the early days. It's definitely focused on what matters every day, what is the big news, and how he's planning to enter in certain positions. He also runs some very basic bots. I will encourage you to never run any of the bots that he's running because they are extremely aggressive, and he has gotten liquidated at least one time that I remember. He claimed publicly that he lost quite a lot of money. I think if I remember right, he lost like around 50,000, but at the point that he lost that money, I was sharing the same manager of the exchange with him, and I knew how much he was making per day, and I can tell you that for him, that day he got liquidated, that didn't even cut half a day of his income. Therefore, he really doesn't care about getting liquidated. It is you who loses everything because you go all in with the bots that you think he's running, knowing what he's doing, but actually he gets liquidated and he says, okay, I'm gonna say live that nothing happened, that I got liquidated, and I'm gonna move on. 2-3 days after, everybody's copying the same bots again. Anyways, I think it's valuable. I like his support and resistance analysis, but again, do not copy anyone. You shouldn't be copying me either. You should know what you're doing. My financial friend, and I'm gonna tell you a story about this channel. Back in the day, early 2020, around the time of COVID, when we had the crash, I started watching this channel. You can go into the earlier videos 7 years ago, and he was basically poor, okay? He was a student, and he started making a channel, and every time I was watching this, I was finding it so funny that he says, "Hello, my name is Sam," and then he will talk about Tesla every day. I was interested in Tesla at some point at that time 5 years ago, and I was getting a lot of alpha from him when it comes to fundamentals. And at some point I told myself, enough, I'm gonna start my YouTube channel. If he can do it, if he can get to his first 1,000 subscribers by being so flat and so calm, taking pauses and talking about Tesla every single video, repeating himself a billion times, then I guess I can have a YouTube channel too. So in theory, I started my YouTube channel with this last drop in the glass that gave me the final push to open the YouTube channel. Nowadays, he's 353,000. He shares a lot of information about general markets, but primarily Bitcoin and crypto. He covers all aspects of news, and some days he's multiple times with videos covering what's going on, development, live streams, and all of that. Tyler S. If you want a sprinkle of humor together with the analysis, well, Tyler is a little bit of a perma bull. I mean, he's been bearish, but let's face it, the whole bull market, he just spends it saying, yeah, we are going down, but we will continue, we will continue, we will continue. Well, fair enough. He's been right up until now. I'm not so sure he will call the top or something like that. He's very bullish. He shares a lot of things. He makes a lot of sense. And I remember once I replied something to him. He was making a joke and I was replying with a joke, and he took too personal my joke and he got really pissed and he replied to me to FO pretty much. That's fine. I do the same. You should definitely watch Steve. He's got 225,000 subscribers. There are some occasions where he shares some trades as well, but mostly is around what's going on with the price. And when the price action gets boring, he really lifts up the spirits of people. Crypto Tips has a lot of information. They are absolutists of Bitcoin, and after Bitcoin. 250,000 subscribers. They cover a lot of things. Sometimes they catch some local tops. They say, well, the open interest is too big. This is a leverage rally. It's gonna collapse. And he's been right a few times. The focus of the channel, the main value, I wouldn't say is on calling local tops or bottoms or final cycle tops. It's all about keeping you understanding Bitcoin, understanding how things work, the money printer, and all of that. If you're new to that, of course, watch this channel. If you're already very well informed, skip. On-chain Mine is one of the channels I'm gonna mention that are definitely worth watching when it comes to on-chain data and analytics. Miners, liquidity, all of that is covered in this particular channel. They have around 18,000 subscribers, so I'm pretty much giving you a channel that is in development. We got 17,000 subscribers with Bitcoin Magazine Pro. Matt is amazing. I have invited to my channel multiple times himself, and he covers everything, not just on-chain data, but everything that is already available in the Bitcoin Magazine Pro for free. You can get so many indicators on that for free. Definitely have a look at that if you didn't know about it. The link is this one in here, bitcoinmagazinepro.com, and watch his videos. He's very bullish at the moment. I'm not as bullish as him. I think we can do higher, but he's got a strong idea that we are gonna go maybe into 150. If I remember right, I want to be fair to what he says, of course. Bitcoin University. This guy is very techy and he knows a lot of things about Bitcoin, even things like you can cover how wallets are attacked. Very interesting topics. Definitely something different than trading or general. It's more about culture of crypto. So watch this if you are interested. Crypto Zombie used to publish a lot more often videos. Nowadays, look at this, 2 weeks ago, 11 days, 4 days ago. Still is worth the watch. I am no longer watching it, but if you want to stay well informed, Crypto Zombie will keep you informed about news and about everything that's going on. It's very fast paced. He talks tons of things at the same time, but hey, I'm a parrot. Sometimes I can be like that, and so many people tell me that they cannot keep pace with what I'm saying. So, well, this is a little bit like that too. Benjamin Cowen, I watch so much Ben since 2020. We even did a collaboration video once. He covers multiple assets, not just crypto, specific focus on Bitcoin dominance videos that became even a meme nowadays. But as you can see, he covers S&P 2, NASDAQ, FOMC meetings, fear and greed, bull market support band. He has influenced me on picking some indicators, of course, but it's very wide, the technical analysis. He mainly places the candlestick patterns there, and then he finds very cool patterns in the price action. Then he does some ratios, adding with formulas. He's kind of a scientist. I think he's a physicist. Now I'm talking Spanish and half English as usual. Invest Answers is a great channel if you want to stay informed. It's very biased towards being bullish on Tesla, Bitcoin, Solana. You know, the symbols are always there, and you're gonna get a lot of overflow of information on those topics. Even when Tesla was taking a dip, he was super bullish. He bets big on Elon Musk. I haven't watched this channel in a long time. He mainly does live streams. I do recommend that you watch it. We got Bitcoin Trading Challenge with 74,000 subscribers. This channel is a gem, guys. You have to put a reminder to watch it all. It's full of alpha, and the alpha that you're gonna find in here is not available anywhere. This dude has made, let me tell you, hundreds and hundreds of videos with alpha. It's been 600 videos, and each one of them is pretty short, straight to the point, and with an alpha that is absolutely unique. He has covered options, on-chain data, how to hedge with two different coins. He can get sometimes more technical. He explains how does it work, liquidations, open interest, funding rates, mob charts. Look at this. I haven't been watching this, and I'm already needing to catch up on tens of things that I never heard about. Many of the cards under my sleeve came from here, and I even forgot. So if you really have an appetite for extreme amounts of alpha, well, or you cannot sleep, just watch that channel. And Sasha is a bit negative, but I really like this channel because it covers everything. Now he's got a separate channel for the UK, but here is the channel that covers general economy, macroeconomy, with 188,000 subscribers. I really like it. It's very much focused on data, on sharing data, on how things are going, with a big bias towards negativity again. So if you are feeling already a bit down, do not watch it. But if you want to really know what's going on under the carpet, watch it. This is one of my newest discoveries called Ffty, and this dude makes a lot of sense to me. He's trading and he covers multiple aspects. In my opinion, he should be growing this 10K very soon. I wouldn't be surprised that very soon he gets to 100,000 subscribers. Also because videos are getting 60,000. Look at this, 20,000. So there is a divergence there that eventually is gonna catch up. CryptoCrown, I respect this channel because Eric is technical. There's a big overlap with the things I do, and that's why I don't watch it very frequently, because I don't want to get biased with whatever he discovers. But it's very interesting, gets a lot of views. He's got 200,000 subscribers. Sometimes he mixes a bit of Pine script coding strategies, and every time he's got a strategy, he shows the past performance. So for example, he follows the cycles of the moon, and he shows if you take a long every time this happens, it will work out. He follows the performance of days, months, seasonality, and a lot more. If you are into technical things, yeah, and you haven't seen this, well, it's a must. More Crypto Online is also a must if you are looking for technical trading, specifically with swings, wave counting, and all of that is fully covered with Fibonacci channels. He makes very short, straight to the point, specifically to do with the price action. He doesn't cover that much the fundamentals, but he tries to keep it very straight to what is his bias for specific coins, giving you multiple scenarios just like I do. It's not just it's gonna go up or down, but if this happens, if that happens, which I really like, and that's why I don't watch it. After I discover it, I stop watching because of the potential big impact it could have in my own decisions. And Bitcoin Patrick has again a new channel with 99 subscribers, and I decided to give it a hand because I really think that he deserves it. Getting 79 views or 35 views is definitely not fair. Here this one has 1.5, so give it a follow and let him know that you're coming from here. I will really appreciate that. Crypto Anub, I have to mention mention this because in 2020, 2021, I was all about absorbing the patterns that Crypto Anub was putting out. His first video is 5 years pretty much when I started watching, and he's consistently once a day putting out a video. There's an overhead of patterns. There's usually 1,000 patterns in the same video, but he ends up having some thesis, which is again another reason I don't watch it. Garret, Soloway, careful with this channel. This is a gray area, okay? I don't like the trades that Garret takes. I do not like that he has said multiple times he was gonna short when we were in the early stages of Bitcoin market Bitcoin, and then you go to his website and there's nothing saying that he lost ever, and I consider that pretty unfair to people. So let's put that on the table first. But having said that, I think watching the videos, if you're looking for information on general markets, crypto, and looking into TA, technical analysis, very quick pace, I think Garret makes a good analysis, and the points that he brings sometimes compensate for my lack of knowledge of some elements of the macroeconomy where I actually learn from him. So you can see, you can always say something positive and negative. I will say, if you want information by the day, go and give it a view, but be aware that he might not be necessarily sharing all the losses that he's really taking, which is funny because it's called verified investing, his channel, and I'm not sure who is verifying the things. I hope someone is. Opticalart.com. This channel is extremely interesting. It's really crazy how this dude has called multiple tops and multiple bottoms. To be fair, he calls for a lot of things, right? And at some point, some things are going to happen. You could say the same about my channel, but my channel doesn't have the primary intention of forecasting a price target. I don't forecast. That's not my goal. My goal is to make money, to close my trades in profit. And I aim to do that way more than thinking, oh, tomorrow price is going to go to 118. I don't state that. I say there is a good likelihood for that. Should we prepare for that? Well, Optical Art says if we hit this line, we're definitely going to come back down here. So he aims for forecasts, and then he states, I was right, I call it, and stuff like that. So this channel focuses on Fibonacci, but on steroids. There are circle, lines, channels, parallel channels in Fibonacci. If he zooms out like in this area in here, you're gonna see so many crazy things. It's almost like black dark magic, this channel. Plenty of times he gets it wrong, but I suspect that he must be doing decently well. I shared once the manager on an exchange with him, and this manager was telling me that he was really doing massively well in terms of the fees being paid to him. So possibly he's making a lot more from the fees rather than the trading, which is the opposite than me. I do way less from fees from Patreon than from my trading. He has a heck of a lot of patrons, and the amount of people that have open accounts with him is just, I don't know, 100x me. Bitcoin Hyper, very interesting analysis, straight to the point. It's been, during the time I used to watch it, it's been multiple times wrong, multiple times right, and he plays with a stop loss. Sometimes he says, well, I got stopped out, and he keeps always a day trading setup, and then he plays with swing setup. So he might be in a long with larger volume for a period, and then he takes a short with a shorter period just to take advantage of the different swings. He uses Fibonacci, support and resistance, volume profiles, stochastics, wave counting, parallel channels. There are plenty of different tools that he uses every day, primarily on Bitcoin. Definitely give it a watch if you're looking for inspiration on how to trade better. Just be aware that he's a human being and he takes losses, specifically because using the stop loss. So manage your sizes so you don't take big losses. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found a channel that you got excited to start following. If you did, let me know in the comments, and it will be really nice if when you follow the person, you write down the trading parrot sent me here. You can tag me with @thetradingparrot if you want, so the person can find my channel. It will be nice if thanks to this video I'm making, I end up doing some collaboration with bigger channels, with traders specifically. I would like to do a collaboration with Bitcoin Hyper, Optical Art. I don't know if he does any. I could do a collaboration with Garret Soloway after what I say. Probably is gonna spit in my face. Anub, yeah, definitely. Bitcoin Patrick, I have done already. I would really like to do a collaboration with more crypto online. Someone gave me the idea yesterday on Twitter, so we'll see if that eventually plays out, but I'm up for it. Cheers. See you on the next one. Bye bye.